NASA astronauts Kate Rubins and Jeff Williams, now in the cupola workstation of the International Space Station, operating the station's robotic arm, moving through their procedures for drag and capture. It means they are preparing for moving the arm into its capture position to grapple the SpaceX cargo vehicle, now sitting at 11.2 meters away from the International Space Station.
If you are part of the truth community in this world, please listen to me try to present another way to understand the lies that we see in this world. So you may think that NASA and SpaceX are evil and are involved in lying to the world. You may think that space is fake and that gas pressure can't be next to a vacuum without a solid barrier. So space is fake, right? And by saying space is fake, I mean that space agencies like NASA and SpaceX are faking the operations that they claim to carry out in that so-called vacuum of space. So, have you heard of Russian vids? To him, everything is fake, and there are evil men in this world that have as their goal to use symbols and lies and the height of technology to deceive the whole world. These evil men are all Freemasons, and they all worship Lucifer. So everything is fake or being faked according to people like Russian vids. In fact, the majority of the truth community have these kinds of suspicions and make these kinds of assumptions that this elite group of men exists and that they are successful. Recently, Jeranism and David Weiss from DITRH channel have been under attack from Russian vids. And to keep the drama out of this video, I will just say that the recent accusations toward basically the whole truth community might start to show people like Jeranism and David Weiss another way to understand what is actually taking place concerning the idea of the truth being shown to us and the lies that we're seeing through. We don't have an exact answer of what we're seeing through these lies. We just know that there's lies, and all of us in this truth community are interested in understanding what is happening when we say there's a lie happening. What is happening that makes that what it is. So there's something called auto-hoaxing. It's when a person just calls everything a hoax and really doesn't believe anything that anyone says about any event that takes place, especially if it's reported on TV or any kind of mainstream news. Let me talk about auto-hoaxing, the idea of space exploration. So David Weiss on DITRH has put out videos in the past suggesting the possibility that the space shuttle, could have been something like a helium balloon of large proportion, and with special effects by NASA being launched, and that's what we're seeing. I would have to put this in the auto-hoaxing category. And personally, I think that just one part of the shuttle launch or any rocket launch can kind of eliminate the idea of it being a balloon. There's a reason why I'm bringing this up. It's heard for miles and miles around it. It breaks windows in people's houses when it launches. It sets off car alarms 20 miles away. It is the loudest sound that men have been able to make in this world, besides like the moment of a detonation. The reason is because I think of this differently than it being a hoax. It's much bigger than a hoax. It's just reality. A couple of years ago, I was also believing that NASA and SpaceX were hoaxing the world. But that has changed, and I understand these things on a different level. What if I said that NASA and SpaceX and all the people working there are not lying at all, or hoaxing at all, or faking anything? I suppose many people in the truth community would say that I'm a shill, and that I'm secretly working for the Freemasons or the government and perpetrating their lie for some kind of financial gain or to worship Lucifer. Side note, if we talk about Lucifer, wouldn't it be important to know what Lucifer stands for and what his ideas are? Well, he wants to ascend into heaven and exalt his throne above the stars of God. That's exactly what NASA and SpaceX do, isn't it? Lucifer wants to ascend above the heights of the clouds and be like the Most High God. Isn't that what NASA and SpaceX literally do? Ascend into the heavens? Go up into the sky? But it turns out that Lucifer wants these things, but will only be brought to hell, to the sides of the bottomless pit. So, where do NASA and SpaceX claim to go? Well, they claim to ascend into the heavens, just like Lucifer says he wants to do. Let's talk about what they believe about space. One, everything is in space is falling around something else. An example is the moon is falling around the Earth in the heliocentric model. It's orbiting because of gravity. Two, that the solar system is a universe of physical space with nothing in it, and is essentially a vacuum or an extremely low pressure system, void of matter, atmosphere, and is a place of expanding darkness that they call dark matter, and have no idea what it is. 3, the astronauts are in a state of free fall and never experience the downward attraction or the downward acceleration towards the ground. And for the mockers and haters, they do experience the gravity, but it's canceled out by the outward acceleration caused by orbiting a sphere. Don't pretend you're smarter than other people, okay? We understand what is said to be the truth. 4, basically it's a place of nothing, where it is never-ending blackness and darkness, and everything there is falling perpetually. Well, if you are interested in truth, listen to this. The Bible talks about a place of darkness and blackness where everything is also falling perpetually. It is called the bottomless pit, or the abyss, or outer darkness. Hell. The sides of the pit. That's where Lucifer was going to be brought to. This is in Isaiah 14, it says that. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. So they think they're ascending into the heavens. They think they're ascending to exalt their throne above the stars of God, but they're actually falling perpetually into darkness. They're being swallowed up by hell. I know this is a different way of thinking, but if you're interested in the actual truth, remember that the truth community isn't making up the truth. We aren't part of the source of this truth. We are learning what it is. And we are learning that we've been born into a time where lies are being taught. And for some reason, now we are seeing through those lies. Let me challenge you, if you have an open mind. Don't think of the truth in a way where you see it to have a finish line. It isn't like that. It's a journey. And the greatest part and most significant part of that journey is learning things that we didn't know or hadn't considered previously. So I'll just say this. Are you part of the truth community in this world?